This segment is brought to you by Waits and Downer, attorneys at law.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very much. And when we're looking for updates from Assumption Parish, we turn our attention to Commander Lonnie Cavalier, Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office. Thanks for joining us today, Commander.
Thanks, Keith. Good morning to y'all.
Thank you very much. All right, let's start with Eric Smith and some of the charges he'll be facing.
Yes, Eric T. Smith, 46 and 114 Reno Street, Pierre Park, Louisiana, was arrested on felony DWI charges arising from a traffic stop on Highway 70 in Pierre Park. A uniformed patrol deputy observed a westbound vehicle commit multiple traffic violations and executed a stop of that vehicle. The deputy made contact with the driver, now identified as Eric T. Smith, and initiated an officer violator interview. During that interview, the deputy detected signs of intoxication. The deputy conducted a series of field sobriety tests of which Eric Smith performed poorly. The deputy arrested Eric T. Smith and transported him to the Assumption Parish Detention Center, where he underwent breath analyzer testing, which produced a result of 0.12 grams per cent. Eric T. Smith was booked on charges of driving while intoxicated, a third offense felony, speeding 66 miles per hour in the 55-mile zone, driving on roadway lane for traffic, and also on a probation parole warrant from a previous DWI arrest. Eric T. Smith remains incarcerated with bond set at $50,000 on the DWI charge, and he was ordered held without bail on the probation parole warrant.
Wow, well, thank you very much, Commander. Let's turn our attention to this gentleman who was a failure to notify as a sex offender.
Yes, Kenneth Wayne Daniels, Jr., 26 of 245 Highway 400 Napoleonville, was arrested on a felony warrant charging him with failure to register and notify as a sex offender. Kenneth Wayne Daniels, Jr. was convicted of carnal knowledge of a juvenile in Lafourche Parish on September 15th of 2022. Kenneth Wayne Daniels, Jr. is required to register as a sex offender until March 1st, 2039. Daniels failed to maintain his registration requirements as a resident of Assumption Parish. As such, a warrant was issued for the arrest of Kenneth Wayne Daniels Jr. on May 22nd of 2025. Kenneth Wayne Daniels Jr. was arrested by Thibodaux City Police on August 22nd of 25. Daniels was released to the custody of the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office and was booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of failure to register and notify as a sex offender. Kenneth Wayne Daniels Jr. was released after posting a $50,000 commercial bond.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we also have some information on Alicia Curtis Powell.
Yes, this involved a battery upon a threat upon a bus driver. Alicia Curtis Powell, 47 and 168 Georgette Street, Napoleonville, was arrested on felony charges arising from an incident which occurred in the 100 block of Georgette Street. Deputies responded to a complaint which involved an individual boarding a bus and threatening the driver. Deputies made contact with the complainant and school board personnel who advised that on Friday morning, an individual now identified as Alicia Curtis Powell had boarded the bus in question and directed threats towards the driver. Deputies located Alicia Curtis Powell at a residence on Georgette Street and arrested her. Alicia Curtis Powell was booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of public intimidation and threats. Alicia Curtis Powell posted a $7,500 commercial bond and has been released from custody.
Okay, thank you very much, Commander. And now let's talk about the importance of whenever people fail to appear, you're going to get a warrant and you're going to go out and get arrested. Tell us about Clemens, please.
Yes, Lance Xavier Clemens, 55 at 3414 Shortcut Apartment 215, Pascagoula, Mississippi, was arrested on a warrant charging him with failure to appear in court on felony battery charges in Assumption Parish. Lance Xavier Clemens was previously arrested in Assumption Parish and as a result of that arrest was ordered to appear in court on November 27th of 2023 and failed to do so. A warrant was issued for his arrest on November 30th, 2023, but he had already fled the jurisdiction. Lance Xavier Clemens was in the custody of the Jackson County, Mississippi Sheriff's Office. Clemens was released to the custody of the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office on August 14, 2025. Lance Xavier Clemens was booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of failure to appear in court on November 27, 2023 in Assumption Parish on account of aggravated second-degree battery. Lance Xavier Clemens was released after posting bond and was served notice to appear in court.
And so, Commander, of all of these, we look at some of those and just, I appreciate the fact that it doesn't matter what it is, what law that you break, that we're going to find a way. The great communication between all of these different law enforcement means that we can communicate back and forth, and that whether you're in our area or not, we're going to find a way to track you down, and you'll be held accountable for what it is that you have or haven't done.
Yeah, and technology has gone a long way, and you remember the adage, you can't beat the radio. So this is a good example, and we pursue these cases vigorously because they are felonies, and you have your day in court, and if you miss your day in court, we're going to make sure you do have your day in court.
Right, we're going to come and get you, and you'll stay arrested until that happens. Commander, as always, we appreciate all the efforts that you guys provide, all the communication you do with other law enforcement as stated. And so we're just very glad that y'all are doing everything you can to keep us safe and making sure that those people who are in and around and coming through Assumption Parish are all safe as well.
Thanks, Keith, and we wish all of y'all a good holiday coming up and a safe one.
We appreciate that, you as well. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment, but don't go anywhere. I got a whole lot more right here on Bayou Time.
This segment was brought to you by Waits and Downer, attorneys at law.